So very interesting cheese there, and it looks like Miles is gonna re-attack. And ChitaPrime does just have Zealots at his base, but if these Stalkers can get back in time, he should be able to pull it. Though do note, one is at 3 life and the other's at 7, so they are battle-hardened Stalkers. Look at their kills. 4 kills, 3 kills, 6 kills. Very, very high kills for just a few units. Do know we have a sentry going down. This sentry will effectively block any kind of run by or rush is done, and it looks like these Stalkers targeting the wrong one. They are going to be able to pick this Stalker off. That Stalker goes down. Will this Stalker go down too? I don't think so. Now the sentry's out and another Stalker is down. So ChitaPrime easily going to be able to defend any kind of push made it thrown by Miles. But Miles is going to be relentless, bringing another probe up to put down a pylon and sending several more Stalkers out. Still just barely producing probes. Forgot a little bit there for a second. And here we go. Also checking for the Expo going down. Putting that pylon over there to make sure the Expo going down. We have a robotics facility coming down. Probably going to see an Observer and then Immortals. Out-of-X Immortals are very good against Stalkers. And by that I mean very, 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 very good. So ChitaPrime checking around for a pylon, but he doesn't see this one right here out in the middle. Oh, hiding in plain sight. ChitaPrime doesn't realize it's a proxy right here. That's kind of... It's actually very hilarious, and it looks like Miles is getting several more Stalkers. Do note there is a sentry down the robotics, so he's going down the... So if ChitaPrime can get a force field off, ooh, good force field there. Miles can't see up the ramp, so he will just be taking pot shots by these guys. However, there needs to be another sentry coming in for ChitaPrime. Oh, it looks like there was a way for Stalkers to get, or Zealots to get by. ChitaPrime is able to kill the rest of the Zealots, so not before losing 2 of his Stalkers, though. He does have another sentry out now, but this force field's about to go down. So are we going to see another great force field? Another great force field. I really think ChitaPrime needs to go over here and back these guys away and start making an Immortal right away. But he is instead going to Chrono Boost these. Probably going to want to just get more and more sentries. Because sentries are very adept at stopping this kind of attack. ChitaPrime really needs to start shooting at these pylons and these guys down here. Or kill this probe even better. However, he's just going to use this one Stalker and shoot at them for the time being. Very good force field timing there right as it's going down. However, he doesn't have enough energy on any of these guys to force field anymore. This guy will just barely have enough energy by the time I think this next force field will come up. And he has enough energy, but the force field goes down a little too late, and several of the Stalkers get in, giving them vision, sending this Stalker to death. However, these Stalkers get surrounded by the Zealots and the sentries, and these Stalkers go down. However, one more Stalker is coming in. We have more Zealots going down, and it looks like Miles' attack will be delayed. He still hasn't secured a natural, so he's really going all in at this point. So here we go. Zealots pushing out for ChitaPrime. However, the Zealots are getting killed by these Stalkers that can just microwave, and another force field coming down barely in time. Really want to see an Immortal out here to take care of these Stalkers. Miles is continuing just to do nothing. He's checking around his base for something. I don't know, maybe ChitaPrime did some kind of probe run by or something, but he's not making any probes. He isn't getting any gas, and he hasn't expanded. Very unlike I don't know who Miles is, but I assume if he's playing ChitaPrime, he's pretty good. Very unlike him to forget about stuff like that. We have an Immortal finally coming out. With 5 Stalkers left over, and here there comes another huge wave of Stalkers, 4 more Stalkers. Finally, ChitaPrime getting on these pylons. Well, it really should supply block Miles by killing them. And it looks like once this Stalker goes down, their vision will be cut off. So now he really needs to start working on these pylons again with these sentries. So I do think his attention is diverted elsewhere, like to getting his probes back, and he's very resource heavy, although he is starting to run thin on them because this huge one-base play by both players. So these sentries continue to hold position. They do have a force field, and they are going to slowly cut the forces in half. We now have an Immortal out. This Immortal is going to be absolutely devastating. It looks like the pylons on the high ground, though, were able to warp in some Zealots for Miles, and these Zealots are going to kill the Immortal if this Immortal does not micro. If this Immortal goes down, that's going to be a huge loss for ChitaPrime. However, he does save the Immortal. The Immortal is going to be able to do huge damage to these pylons up here, because he does do 50 damage to armor. Starting to work on the Stalkers. It's going to easily take them down quick. 2 kills. We're going to see 3 kills soon. 3 kills, and 4 kills probably soon, too. But these Stalkers definitely going to be destroyed by this Immortal, who's just racking in the damage. However, more Zealots warping in. This Immortal is blocked by his Sentry Zealot friends, though. And it looks like Miles still hasn't secured a base, and ChitaPrime has so much money, he's easily going to be able to secure one out here. Now that he has his Immortal, that he can repulse anything that has any Stalkers in it whatsoever. Immortal sitting at 5 kills here. Very nice unit. Love the Immortals. So we finally have Miles throwing down a Robo Bay. ChitaPrime making more Immortals. As a lot of Minerals would really like to see him. Ooh, he's throwing down a Robo Bay. Really like to see him expand at this point. I mean, it's 17 minutes into the game, that's Blizzard minutes, and nobody's expanded yet. And if they have an invisible expansion that even I can't see. So ChitaPrime getting a little supply block, going to throw down a lot of pylons. You know, he has lost several probes, but he's getting a second Immortal out, and this Robo Bay is about halfway done. Miles throwing down a robotics facility. Would like to see him expand too, as he's also very mineral heavy. So both these players using a lot of gas to build units like the Sentry and whatnot, and Miles is almost out of minerals in his main, so he really needs to expand. ChitaPrime, he did lose a lot of probes, so he has a little bit more minerals, but he also needs to expand. This is a very weird game. And here we go, finally, ChitaPrime expands. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think this game would just get to the point where no one had any resources and they had the long-distance mine from who knows where. It looks like ChitaPrime, I'm going to be checking around with this probe. I'm going to be kind of confused as to why Miles doesn't expand. Sack the probe. And is Miles moving out right now to expand? He is starting to long-distance mine because he has just about run out in the main. Very kind of embarrassing. I wonder if he did that unknowingly or if he just realized all of a sudden, oh, I don't have anything in my main. So does Miles have enough to build? He's continued to warp in more guys instead of building a Nexus to start the production. Very interesting here. Going to go completely all in with this last push, I assume, as he still doesn't have anything else. And we do have the first Colossi for ChitaPrime, and that's going to be just about a stamp of doom on Miles' face, as Colossi are just absolutely great against gateway units, especially Zealots and Sentries. I don't know if Colossi destroy force fields yet. I think they should because they are considered massive. However, these long legs might just step over the force fields. I don't know. Either way, still pretty good. He's getting a second Colossi too, and his expansion in the almost down. So ChitaPrime in a firm position of lead, though Miles does have an observer out. He's making another observer to see what's going on, and he must be just absolutely terrified at this point as he sees this very lethal protoss force that he's going to have to go up against with really just Zealot Sentry. And there is a Colossi out. Do note Thermal Lances has just started, but second Colossi also down. ChitaPrime also has very nice numbers of Zealots and Sentries, not as much as Miles has, but he has the Colossi and Immortals to make up for it. I do note Thermal Lances is not being chrono boosted, and the expansion is down. ChitaPrime just barely saturating. Nexus probe count is very low. However, here comes ChitaPrime's main force. This force Stalker from Miles does get sniped, and we are going to see a battle. No, they're retreating for the time being. Miles has to realize that it's going to be very hard to win with this force. Do note he also has 2 observers out. And he still hasn't secured his natural. He's at 10, 15 minerals. He's mined out in the main, just has several probes doing nothing. Long distance mining from the natural. He has 2 observers. It's just absolutely weird play by him, trying to do this all-in cheese and then push just after another. So here we go, Guardian Shield coming in. Here's the big fight. These Colossi just going to accidentally moving in to start hitting the Zealots. I think that was a misclick, but now the Colossi are doing absolutely deadly damage to this line of Zealots. And Miles, I assume that's GG, even though that looks like a strange version of pie, and leaves the game after his epic cheese, and the great fight in the base doesn't work. ChitaPrime, even though he was late with expansion, is still able to claim it. So, I'm MD Starcraft. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I am out.